One of them was the decision. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's interesting because I guess the odds down here show Skarov as an underdog. But I would personally think that he should have all the advantage coming into this fight. 6-fight win streak, and Worley's coming over 2 back-to-back losses. So, yeah, I think Ikram will probably get this fight done. I'm not sure if it'll be a finish, but I think he can definitely beat Worley, and I think he should beat Worley. Albeit, oh, by the way, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing any or all of these names. Yeah. So I have Ikram and Saeed. Alright. So, the next fight is Makhachev versus Johnny Walker. Makhachev is obviously coming off of that controversial draw against Jan Blachowicz. A fight where, Jan obviously was blasting leg kicks. And it was weird because obviously when you're throwing leg kicks, you obviously don't want them to be checked, but even when Ankalaev was checking them, bone on bone, Jan was still getting the better of the exchanges. And he didn't seem to shy away from that, which was crazy. So, obviously Ankalaev had to overcome that, with a significant, hindrance to his mobility. I think a lot of people saw that fight going in Ankalaev's favor. And a lot of people also saw it going in Jan's favor. I personally thought Ankalaev won, but yeah. I guess it kind of threw a spanner in the works with the light heavyweight division. I believe right after that, they had to do Glover versus Jamal Hill. Yeah, I think it's Glover versus Jamal Hill because Yuri beat Glover, and then Yuri had to vacate because of injury. Yeah. Anyway, that whole Jan Blachowicz and Ankalaev fight was supposed to be the UFC's fix to crowning a light heavyweight champion, but unfortunately, obviously, it didn't work. But yeah, going over to Johnny Walker. He's had a bit of a resurgence to his career. Obviously, he came off of back-to-back losses. One to, I believe, Diego Santos and Jamal Hill. But I think recently he's beaten, oh goodness, I think he beat Craig. I think his last win is against Craig. He's looked really good, really sharp. But, again, I just think Ankalaev, even though Ankalaev's coming off of, a long layoff, I think Ankalaev is gonna come back hungry. And he's gonna wanna, show that he still has what it takes to compete at the upper echelon of the UFC roster. I just don't see Johnny Walker getting past Ankalaev. I think it'll be a closer fight than a lot of people are anticipating. a huge age difference there, and I think it speaks to Usman maybe being towards the latter part of his career on camera, just entering into that prime, so to speak, prime of his UFC career. Unfortunately, I don't think Usman beats Chimaev. I think Chimaev is just, he has the age advantage. I think, he's had that full fight camp to prepare, albeit for a different opponent, but I think he needs to prove himself. Again, similar to the Magomed-Ankalaev fight and the Johnny Walker fight, I think this is a really big statement fight. Dana White said the winner of this gets Sean Strickland, so obviously high stakes. Can Chimaev prove he really deserves a title shot? I guess that Kevin Holland fight was I don't really think it warrants him getting I don't think it really warrants him getting a title shot, even though I believe, this could be wrong, but they were trying to actually get Chimaev and Strickland instead of Usman for this card, but I don't know. I think this fight's going to be a really great test, and I think if Chimaev wins, he's going to undoubtedly be deserving of that middleweight title shot, but I think before that, it was a bit debatable. As well for Usman, if he gets like a victory against a really, really tough prospect, well, not prospect, but up-and-coming fighter in Chimaev, I think that makes this fight with Strickland really entertaining. If I'm Strickland, I don't know who I would prefer to fight. I guess maybe Usman, because he's a bit older. You're hoping he might slow down a bit in 5-round fight, but you never know. Anyway, I'm gonna take Chimaev in this fight. Chimaev, I think, might shock the world and get a first-round KO. If that's shocking, but who knows? I'm gonna take Chimaev by KO. Now the main event, Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. Again, similar to the co-main, this was originally supposed to be a different fight. Supposed to be Islam versus Charles Oliveira, and then, unfortunately, Charles had to pull out due to a cut he received in sparring. I believe it was an elbow to the head, right above the eyelid. Nasty cut. Unfortunately, it just wasn't able to heal fast enough for the fight. So now we have Volkanovski instead of him. I guess obviously these two fought. I think they were both each other's last fight. Yeah, unless I'm wrong, they were both each other's last fight, and they both looked really good in that last fight. I think Volkanovski showed he could wrestle, grapple with Islam, and Islam showed he could stand and strike with Volkanovski. But I think this time's going to be different. Obviously, Volkanovski is coming off that surgery, and he's coming off of the couch. I think he had 12 days notice. So did Usman, I think, at the same amount of time. Obviously, Islam has had a full fight camp. Again, I guess not like training for a different guy, but he's already had the time to build up his conditioning, sharpen the skills, as well. I guess, obviously Volkanovski's training a ton, but, I just think it's different, it's a different mentality, different process when you actually know you have a fight booked versus when you're just showing up just to stay in shape, just to, I guess, be ready. I don't know, but as well, I think Khabib should be in Islam's corner this time. I know he wasn't last time. And obviously Islam has the home field advantage. Obviously Volkanovski won't be affected by the boos in the crowd. But I think that home field advantage just gives Islam that So just to